I don't usually tell this story, not because I think people won't believe me, but because I'm still not completely sure what I saw that night. And the more I think about it, the less it makes sense. I wasn't doing anything unusual that night. I couldn't sleep, which happens more than I'd like to admit, so I threw on a hoodie and headed out to my shed. It's really just a converted 2-car garage where I keep my welding setup. The place is brighter than my bedroom, loud enough to focus your thoughts, and quiet enough that nobody else notices. Out here in eastern Kentucky, surrounded by mountains and trees, nights get heavy. Not silent, just heavy. Coyotes move through sometimes, snakes if it's warm enough, but nothing I haven't gotten used to. I flipped on the ventilation, set up my welder, and started practicing vertical welds on some scrap metal. It's second nature to me. Usually once I get going, everything else fades out. But that night, something fell off almost immediately. My hands weren't steady. The welds came out sloppy, uneven, spatter everywhere. That doesn't just happen for no reason. I checked the settings, made sure I hadn't bumped anything. Everything was fine, which meant the problem wasn't the machine. Then I heard it. A bell. Just one soft, metallic clink from somewhere outside. My neighbor keeps a cow not too far from our place, and she's gotten loose before, so I didn't think much of it first. I walked over to the window and looked out, expecting to see her wandering near the fence line. Nothing. No movement. No sound. Just the trees and darkness swallowing everything beyond the light from the shed. That should have been the end of it. I should have gone back to welding, but something about the way the sound just stopped didn't sit right with me. So I checked another window, one that faces deeper into the tree line where the light barely reaches. At first, I thought I was looking at shadows. Then it moved, unnatural and slow. It was tall but wrong, too thin for its height, like it had been stretched out, covered in fur, or at least something that looked like fur, but it didn't sit right on its body. It looked patchy, greasy almost like it didn't belong there. My first thought was a coyote, maybe a pack moving together. But no, this thing was too big. Bigger than anything I'd ever seen around here. It stepped forward just enough for the light to catch part of it. And that's when I realized how long its limbs were. Not proportionate, not normal. The way it stood didn't match any animal I knew. I killed the welder instantly. The sudden silence made everything worse. I didn't think. I just ran back to the house, grabbed the first thing I saw, a flare gun, and headed back out. Looking back, that was stupid. We have a rifle. I know how to use it. But in that moment, logic wasn't part of the equation. I just wanted something, anything. I went back into the shed, moved to the window, and aimed into the dark where I last saw it. And I fired. The flare shot out, lighting everything up in this harsh red glow. And that's when it looked directly at me. Its face didn't match its body. It was small, compressed, like it had been pushed inward. The closest thing I can compare it to is a bulldog, but stretched into something it was never meant to be. Set on a round head that didn't fit the rest of it. Its eyes caught the light for a split second, and I swear it wasn't just reacting. It was focused on me. It made a sound, not a growl, not a howl. Something sharper, almost like a scream forced through an animal's throat. And then it ran, too fast for something that size. It disappeared into the trees before the flare even hit the ground. I didn't go back outside after that. I locked everything up and stayed inside until morning. The next day, we found out my neighbor's cow hadn't gotten loose. The bell I heard, it had been torn off. The cow itself was still there, but its neck, back, and legs were covered in deep scratches. Not clean cuts, not something from a fence or wire. They looked deliberate, uneven, like whatever did it didn't really know how to kill. A few days later, another neighbor said something took one of his chickens. No tracks anyone could clearly follow. Just gone. And here's the part that doesn't sit right with me. I told people what I saw, expecting them to brush it off. Call a coyote, a dog, anything normal. But one of them didn't. He just looked at me for a second and said he'd seen it too. Not far from here. Same shape, same movement, same thing. So yeah, maybe it's just some animal. Something sick, starving, deformed. But I've lived here my whole life. And whatever I saw that night didn't move like anything that's supposed to exist out here.